What up, YouTube? T-Moose here. Since this month I'm doing my reviews for school-based films because of Back to School Month, here's my review for a classic, and that's a 1980s musical film, Fame. Now, years before Glee, years before High School Musical and all, there was another High School Musical based film, and that was of course Fame. I mean, I can say Fame sort of paved the way for stuff like Glee, and like you could definitely tell the show Glee was influenced by Fame. You could totally tell that in a heartbeat. Anyway, now of course they did do a remake of Fame, which got released in 2009, which was pretty terrible actually. Uh, Now the 1980 one is was directed by the late great Alan Parker, and was set in New York City and chronicles the lives and hardship of students attending the high school performing arts, known today as Ferrero H. LaGuardia High School, and they go from their audition to their freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior years. The film was of course produced by David D. Salva, and it was partially inspired by the music of A Chorus Line. I mean, the music, of course, you had Debbie Allen was also in this. Uh, it features some really iconic songs from the iconic song of Fame, as well as Out Here of My Heart, Dogs in the Yard, Hot Lunch, Jam. I mean, some really, definitely a really iconic musical from the 80s. They had some really cool musicals in the 80s, so, and this definitely takes a cake as one of the coolest ones. Uh, I mean, pretty much, it goes from the audition to the freshman years. Like with the freshman year, the students end up learning that their first day classes, that the academics are also weighing equally with their performances in the lunchroom and all. Uh, so yeah, you also had some really cool cast members here too. Like you had it was of course led by Irene Carr, who plays Coco Hernandez, the drama music then. Lee Karate was also in this. Laura Dane. Uh, Debbie Allen was also great here as a character of Lydia. This movie was actually rated R, believe it or not, because of there was extra content, nudity, and stuff like that. So, and there was some cursing. So I can definitely see why this thing was rated R. Usually, rare to see like R-rated musicals, but this is definitely one of them that was actually that pretty much benefited for an R rating. To be honest, yeah. Anyway, but the students were all really decent in this. I mean, you had so many iconic actors in this film who popped up. The music is really decent. The surroundings is really good. Definitely had a bit of a Rocky Horror Picture Show feel at times. I mean, like I said, if it wasn't for something like Fame, we probably wouldn't have stuff like Glee. We probably wouldn't have High School Musical or anything like that. Because you could definitely tell Glee was pretty much influenced by something like Fame, and yeah, I mean, definitely had some really cool iconic musicals as well. It actually scored a couple of Oscar nominations too. I believe it won for original song, if I'm not mistaken. Uh, yeah, and Alan Parker, like he of course gave us movies like Evita. I think he also gave us Mississippi Burning, if I'm not mistaken too. Sadly, he passed away last year. Really cool director in his own part. The movie, of course, also spun into like a TV series, which ran from '82 to '87, as well as a stage musical in '87 as well. I mean, I of course had drama class. When I was in high school. Sadly, it wasn't as like this, but Glee is definitely a really iconic musical movie worth checking out. Did I say Glee? I meant Fame is an iconic music film worth checking out. Great performances from Debbie Allen to Irene or I mean, if you guys have not really seen if you have not really seen the original Fame, watch the original. You don't need to bother with the remake because the remake was supposed to be more of a musical. That did not hardly have any singing in it at all. I'm like, what the heck? I mean, I was actually excited for that remake too, by the way. But then I saw it, I'm like, Yeah, definitely up there as the worst musical of all time, in my opinion. But that aside, the cast in this is definitely strong. The cinematography is really decent. So definitely go check out Fame if you guys haven't seen it. Anyway, let me lead you guys. Have you ever seen the 1980s film Fame? If so, what show? Were you a fan of it? Were you not a fan of it? Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. This is Simon signing out.